Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to day 24 of the 30-day email breakdown challenge. And I'm Leonard here. So, today we'll be breaking down one of the emails from Drayton Association. So, I'm not too sure about his business background because not is business background in terms of whether this business is it still with him, but he's using another person as a spokesperson, or did she just sold this business away and this uh and then they changed the spokesperson. So, and this email is not by him himself, it's by this guy called Garrett. So I'm not too sure, but I'm focusing here is more on how he tell the story and how this story can help you. So my job here is to spot the story that I think it will help you and give you the takeaway that you can put into your business right away. Yep. So if you would like to check it out, Drayton Bird, he's one of the top, I would say one of the famous copywriters in the planet, and many top copywriters like direct response marketer like David Ogilvy and Joe Sugarman, Gary Bencivenga, or there's a lot of comments about him, a lot of testimonials about him. So you can go check it out at his website down at the description below. So without further ado, let's dive into today's email breakdown, story based email breakdown. All right. So could you keep a customer for 40 years? All right. So this doesn't exactly like what we usually say by sparking a question in the reader's mind, but instead it sparked curiosity using the specific time frame right here, 40 years. So 40 years is quite a lot compared to the industry average. So maybe average, right? Most businesses is around 1 or 2 years, but definitely not 40 years. So this 40 years is very specific. So, and it's a specific time frame. So it definitely sparked curiosity in the reader's mind. Then he moved on to say, 5 weeks ago my car was damaged. When I was parked, someone tried to go past me and well failed. We exchanged phone numbers, addresses, insurance details, etc. Then the fun began. So he didn't say he crashed. He just say the car is damaged. Then when he's parking, the guy tried to go past him, then it failed. So this is kind of like showing the reader that he got into an accident without saying oh, I got into an accident. Yeah. So this is a trick. This is a very good, mm, how do I, good example of what we always say, showing but not telling the reader. Yeah. So don't know about where you live, but here in the US, UK, insurance company seems to be you used to get quotes for the repairs, send them to your insurer, and wait for them to approve the work. Nowadays they like to tell you where your car will be repaired. It's all discussed as making things easier for you, but the truth is it is about cutting costs and making them easier. So if you think I'm exaggerating, why do they only guarantee the work if you take your car to where they want you to? So he's giving a little bit context about how works. Insurance company for cars insurance company works in the UK. So you have to agree that it's more techniques than a gentle, friendly nudge. So the fun for me was the hoops I had to jump through to have my car repaired where I wanted. He already said that uh, why do they only guarantee the work if you take your car to where they want you to take? So he already said that these companies want you to take your car to where they want to. So it's kind of like fixed, and it really you really have no choice to find your own repair shop unless you really play hard in it and try to insist to. So but uh this right makes the reader think that he's very picky. So, and then the next sentence, because it's a lot of work, so he said the hoops I had to jump through. So there's a lot of work there, but he still wanted to get through those hoops and get his car repaired where he wanted. So it makes the reader know more about him, more like let the reader know that he's actually very picky, very concerned about where his car is gonna fix, is being fixed. So next he he addressed the objection here. So why am I so picky? So because my preference body shop was fixed my has fixed my family's car since 1983, and they keep getting our business and referrals because two simple things: great friendly service, do a bloody good job. When I drop my car off, so this whole chunk of sentences is talking about how good their services are. So in so he's talking about good services and they do a good job. So in general, right, this is providing uh, a good customer experience right here. So that's the generic point. And then now is the contrast. Then he said using a letter that he received from British Gas, that he even have the screenshot, which increases the credibility. And also people like to uh, view images, so it might make the reader keep reading right here. Right, so then he say there's three things that make him want to laugh or growl. So these three things is directly contrast with the point right here, which is good customer experience. So definitely, right, since this is contrast, it is stating the bad customer experience. And then uh so it's stating the problem. So he's saying good customer experience right here, and then he say contrast. So definitely this part is about bad customer experience. So he then move on to agitate the bad customer experience by stating these 3 points right here. So instead of just stating one, right, he state three, which makes it more interesting for the reader to keep reading right here. So it's not like just saying compare so it's not just like saying two different businesses, or I have A but he has A and B. So that will be quite boring, because that's just one difference. But let's say if I say he has A but I have A, B, C and D, so it makes more compelling right there for the reader to read. Yeah. So and then they go on by saying so after the story about the good customer experience and the story about the bad customer experience, then they move on to talk about transition to his offer. So the same holds true for us when we work with you. So if we don't do a good job, you won't ask us to do more. So this is like kind of like guarantee right here, but this is the moral of the story of the two stories right there, right above. Right? So it's actually more precarious for us because we guarantee you results. So if you don't get them, you get your money back. So this is the guarantee there, and then like to put us to work. So that's a triggering question. Then move on to just saying, just fill in this short form and I will be in touch. Okay, so this what I love about this email, right? Before we go into the small little box below, so what I love about this email in a uh g- high level concept, right, strategy, is that he uses two very contrary story to convey the idea of Ah, okay. So he uses two very extreme stories to convey the idea right there. So if the story are not extreme, right, it's somewhere at the middle, and then so that two story will be quite the same. So it's not strong enough. So they must be very extreme, like at both ends, so that it has the difference. Then it immediately make the reader think that so that difference is the main point. So it's clear to the reader. Yep. So if you were to tell if you were to compare two stories, right, just remember not to put them not to pick stories that are too close to each other, that it's quite similar, because it will be unclear, it will be confusing, sometimes unbelievable, and you will lose credibility right there, and then they will not believe what you are talking about. So make sure you choose stories that are extreme, so that you can have a lot to talk about the differences. Right, so let's move on to the small box, the summary notes here. So the framework used, right, it's it's always it's always there. So even though, right, he's telling a background story, then having a first scenario, second scenario, which is story as well. You can take it as story. Yeah. So the contrast, and then offer the reader the service to prove that they are not like scenario two. They're actually like scenario one, but they didn't say they are like scenario one, but they are not like scenario two. So it's like kind of like moving away from pain instead of going towards pleasure. So if you are saying, oh, you are as good as scenario one, which is this shop right here, so you are kind of like bragging. So people don't like to hear you brag, because it's all about yourself. It's not about them. So if you were to tell them that you're not like this British guest, so it makes them think like, okay, so this is what I don't want to experience. So they avoid this. So it's they are not bragging, but they are really helping me, because they know that I don't want this kind of poor service, poor customer experience right here. Yep. So even though this framework, right, it varies along these days in the challenge, but the principles still stay the same, which is the PAS, which is the problem. So the problem, right, it's over here, but this is more of a agitating problem, because the problem there is already stated here at the first line of this second scenario, because now contrast this. So just by after reading this, right, and then they say that now contrast this, so they really know that the problem is what's the problem. It's the contrast of this, so they don't have to say it very obvious by telling this, the problem is this, because this story already does the work. And then you just have to say, now contrast this. Yeah. So that's the problem, and here's the agitating, and then here's the solution. So the solution is not really like very direct, because it's kind of like telling the reader, if you want to avoid scenario two, and then here's the solution. Yeah. So that's what they are trying to achieve here. So even though, like I say, even though frameworks they varies, but the base strategies still stay the same. So, but it's very vague to have the base strategy to start off. So it's good to have a outline just like this, the framework. So, and remember, right, background information is always important. Just like the previous breakdown, as well as this one. If you were to remove the background information, you will have a lot of gaps in between the story and what you think. So you will not be able to relate very quickly. You must think a lot, and then assume. So assume that it might not be correct also. So for the readers, so the readers will, if they assume, then they don't think it's correct, then they will not believe you. Yep. So two things good about this email is they focus a lot on the click instead of the service or information. So after they said the stories, they compare the stories, then they just added a few more lines, and then it's only like 4 lines about themselves. All from here and above, right, is all about the story. So here's the transition, and then here's the here's the close. So like to put us to the test, so just fill up this form. So it's very focused, link focusing. So they focus on wanting the readers to click on the link instead of reading the entire information about their service. Yeah, so that's what I like about this email. And isn't just good. Yep, like I say, right, he intensified the bad customer experience by giving three problems right there. So this, by giving three problems, it makes it interesting for the reader to read on. So it's not just like A and B, but it's A, B, C, and D. It's just like crafting an offer. Would you just buy if you were to buy a water bottle, right? Will you just buy a water bottle, or will you buy a sports water bottle with resistant bands, with with your sports sports other sports equipment? So which one is more enticing, interesting to find out more about? So obviously the one with more offer, right? Yep. So that's the same thing here. And one area of improvement is by adding PS to tell the reader what they can expect after clicking on the link. So I went on to click on the link here, and I find out that it's more than the form. It's quite a lot about his. It's kind of like a sales page, but there's also form engraved in it. So uh, if he could add a PS right here to tell the reader what they can expect after clicking on the link, so that they will not be afraid to to expect what, so that they will not be surprised by what they will expect after the link. So just by telling them what they can expect after clicking on the link, they will be more likely to click on the link because they already know what they're gonna expect right there. And this is a very good chance to give them a pre-frame, so those who click on the link are more likely to fill in the blanks or their particulars to get on the call with you. Yep. So that's all for my email breakdown for this day 24, and we have around 6 days to go. So like always, if you have any comments or feedback about my breakdown today, just leave them in the comment section below. And like always, if you like my video, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel so you get notified when the next video is uploaded. See you.